Good afternoon and welcome to the Delta SaaS Services 2017 Smarter Sales and Marketing webinar series. My name's John Miller and I'm joined today by Chris Studley, our CDO. This is the second in a series of webinars that we've been holding. Last week it was all about digital asset transformation and making the content relevant, and today's topic is around SaaS websites and interactive media, and we called it a workshop for a reason, that we do want to make it interactive, informal, and some innovation there as well. We'll be doing things like online surveys. So to make it interactive, if you have got any questions, please do ask them via the sidebar. Following this webinar in 2 weeks' time is the third in the series, which is around sales and marketing platforms and customer engagement applications. And then on the 28th, we're joined by Rick Chapman, CEO of Softletter, who will be talking us through the latest statistics for sales and marketing metrics for SaaS and cloud businesses. And finally, in this year's series, we have a session on the 5th of December by Mark Sweetco of CETA, to talk about his work on digital sales transformation and the latest tools and techniques. So we hope you enjoy the series. Just a very brief introduction to Delta SaaS Services. We've been around since 1995 as consultants in business development and business transformation, and we've focused on the cloud and SaaS market for the last, I guess, 5 to 7 years pretty exclusively. And as you'll see, we have a team of consultants and researchers based around globally and supported by a number of partners offering complementary services in SaaS and cloud markets. Notably, I've mentioned CETA, but notably Softletter and a company called Eames that support telemarketing and channel development services. So perhaps let's do an executive summary to start with in terms of the overall series. What is Smarter Sales and Marketing about? Hopefully Chris will be showing you some new and really interesting technology solutions and tools around digital assets today. But the value proposition, if you like, is really focused around reducing the costs of customer acquisition and reducing the time to market, average sales cycle times. We work with a broad variety of ISVs, MSPs, VARs, IT vendors of various sorts, and as you might expect, a number have got hybrid businesses, and by that I mean that they're offering both on-premise and cloud solutions. Some are obviously offering SaaS as a native SaaS or as part of their portfolio, but we would say that smarter sales and marketing applies across all those areas, and very definitely is part of an end-to-end sales and marketing process. Marketing automation on its own, good though it is, doesn't reach every part of what we'll be talking about, and I think it's really important that it's executed as part of a structured process. But as we'll hopefully demonstrate today, you can actually start with bite-sized pieces. The costs don't have to be high. The tools that we've got, the techniques that Chris will share with you, means that you can very rapidly, for example, move from a PowerPoint-based sales presentation to something much more funky and interactive. I won't go through these again in any detail, but it's obvious why these are required, particularly in the cloud and SaaS market, because of the redefinition of the business rules. Very clearly the way customers use, evaluate and buy IT, and not least of which in all of this, new competitors are coming through every day. I was in New York just last week and was made aware of a number of new SaaS companies, startups that are only 3 years old, grabbing very large market share, very much market driven, very much with contemporary digital assets. I'm sure we've seen this before, that 70% of the customer journey today is digital. The customer experience, the research, the selection of vendors, but I guess in our experience, looking across all companies, the variety of companies I talked about, probably 70% of their sales and marketing is still in some way analog, and by that we mean manual, face-to-face, conventional techniques. So there's a long way to go for a lot of people. And in terms of this series and some of the things that we're going to touch on today, we'll be covering 10 different issues, factors that are going to have a major impact on the cost of customer acquisition and average sales cycle time to market. We'll be looking at obviously new sales and marketing using digital assets, transformation of existing assets. I think Chris will touch on that today, because it's important that we don't start from a total clean sheet. The new smarter sales cycles have reduced number of steps. People, of course, still buy from people, and there are very large and expensive field sales teams out there, so it's really important to ensure that their skill sets and adoption of digital sales techniques are as good as they can be to make them as efficient as they can be. And of course, many people these days do have inside sales teams where they are highly reliant on digital assets. It's also, I think, going to be interesting in the later sessions to look at sales and marketing budgets and expenditure, what the current trends are, what the level of investment is, and how the balance is shifting from sales towards marketing. We're going to talk today about how we can get fast and effective e-commerce. Many client sites are really very straightforward web advertising sites and not e-commerce ready. And finally, but by no means least, looking at the lower costs of upselling and cross-selling, and the effective use of cloud platforms and SaaS applications in terms of the metrics they give you around usage patterns and the business intelligence that gives you, and the platform that provides to then upsell and cross-sell. So we're sure today that the cost of sale can be reduced, and over the coming weeks and months that the average sales cycle time can be reduced by implementing these 10 base factors. So with that, I want to introduce and hand over to Chris. As I say, this is more about being interactive and informal, and he's going to talk through some of these topics, as you can see here, transforming sales and marketing websites, moving from web marketing to e-business, and hopefully some tools and examples which we'll all find interesting. So Chris, on that basis, I'm going to hand over to you.
Okay, thank you, John.
Just looking to see, yeah, can see your screen. That's great.
Perfect. So I'll just go into full screen mode here. Okay. Okay, so hello and welcome everybody. Just pull up my app here. So just a quick reminder for those joining us today from the last webinar. In the last webinar, we talked about digital asset transformation and how we could take your existing assets and turn them into something more engaging and meaningful, such as taking a spreadsheet and transforming it into an online app. And actually, we saw an example of an online app in the Delta Plan Partner. And actually, today, for all those who are attending, we're offering a free 14-day trial. So check out your email afterwards, and you should get a link there with a voucher code, so you can go and actually have a look at the app. We also looked at some websites, platforms, and portals, and the differences between them. We saw how a platform is really a structure that allows apps, tools, and services to run within it. And that portals really are a gateway that contain resources from usually different places, such as email, news, search, and weather. In the last webinar, we actually run an interactive survey, and we'd like to run that again. So for those that are joining us online today, I'll put the URL up here, and this is your chance to come online with us and take part in the interactive survey. And John, is would you be able to post the URL into the chat box as well for me, please?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Just hang on. Those of you online should be able to see this now.
Okay, and I'll just leave the URL there for a couple of minutes to give people a chance and opportunity to log on.
Okay, for those of you who are online today, you will see, sorry, typo, that is, the URL is in there now. Okay, Chris, hopefully that's gone out, so I guess
Yep, we'll
start. We'll
jump in and go through the survey. So question number 1. When visiting a website, how long does it take a customer to decide whether to stay on the site and learn more, or leave and explore other companies? Please ignore the answers I'm putting in. I'm just going to put some random answers in here. So that was question 1. Question 2, watching video. How much in percentage would you say video increased learning, engagement and retention in comparison to text-based information? No difference, 20 to 40%, 40 to 60%, or 60 to 80%. And question 3, marketing. Which one of the following do you consider your customer responds to the most? Telemarketing, social media, self-discovery, the customer finds information out for themselves, or newsletters? And question 4, user experience. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you describe your customer's online user experience? Question 5, content. On a scale of 1 to 10, how relevant do you think your content is to your customers? And the final question, question 6. Presentation. How often do you use the following in presentations? PowerPoint or similar? Always, sometimes, or never. Video? Always, sometimes, or never. Animations? Always, sometimes, or never. Personalized landing pages? Always, sometimes, or never. Okay, we'll just give everyone a minute or so to complete that, John.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Okay, and let's have a look at the results here. So for question 1, and we've done the most popular answers here. When visiting a website, how long does it take a customer to decide whether to stay on the site and learn more, or leave, or explore other companies? The most popular answer was 60 seconds. Actually, best practice shows 10 seconds. We get about 10 seconds online to make an impression. Okay, for question 2, watching video. How much in percentage would you say video increased learning, engagement and retention in comparison to text-based information? And the most popular answer was 20 to 40%. Actually, best practice shows it was around 75% increase in learning and retention with video in comparison to other text-based information. And question 3, marketing. Which of the following do you consider your customer responds to the most? And the most popular answer was social media. Again, best practice shows self-discovery, meaning the customer finds their own information. User experience. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you describe your customer's user experience online? Most popular answer was 5. And again, best practice shows 10. Right up there, user experience is very important. Content. On a scale of 1 to 10, how relevant do you think your content is to your customers? And again, the most popular answer was 5. Best practice shows 10. And finally, presentation. How often do you use the following in presentations? PowerPoint, the most popular answer was always. Video, the most popular answer was sometimes. Animations was never. And personalized landing page, never. Again, best practice shows PowerPoint is good for offline presentations. However, there are more options that help to engage your audience better online. Video, especially interactive video, is a great way to increase engagement, learning, and retention, and user experience. Animations work in a similar way to video. They can work well if you do not want a presenter or wish to tell a story visually using characters or motion graphics. Making the effort to create a personalized landing page or presentation page that your customers or clients can interact with will go a long way and increase engagement and user experience. Okay, I'd like to, now that we've discovered about digital asset transformation, had a reminder, we do have a video that I would like to share with you. And hopefully this will come up. Can you see the video, John?
Not yet, I've got the holding screen now.
Okay, thanks for watching. Did you see that okay, John?
Yeah, no, it's fine, and the sound was good. Maybe just a point for the audience there, that was actually embedded in GoToWebinar's beta version software. So it seemed to work pretty well. So we can see there are more and more platforms are available once you created that type of interactive video to distribute. So that worked well, Chris.
It did. Excellent. So today I want to look at digital content to drive traffic and sales, increase your internet presence, and raise your ranking and visibility in the search engines. We will see how we can use digital assets to engage with our customers in a more meaningful way. So let's go ahead and start with digital content. I'll put this back into full screen. So we've already talked about website structure and how it should work on different devices. And a dedicated mobile version is a good idea too. We also know that websites are just a framework or a structure. And really, it's the content that makes website work, such as media, interactive apps, and interactive media. It's the stuff that we put into websites that really makes a difference. So just before I talk about digital content, I want to talk about visibility and how we can use digital content to increase the visibility on the internet. So what is your overall internet presence? How are customers going to find your products and services? We already know that best practice shows that customers are happy conducting their own research, and therefore it's our job to not only provide the information they need, but make sure they find it in the places that they're looking. This does include social media, but also in organic search engine results. That's important too. For me, internet visibility starts with driving traffic to your website, your shop window, where users can discover more about your products and services. And then once a visitor has reached my website, it's about keeping them there for long enough for those visitors to explore and find the product or service for them, and not go to my competition. So we can really use social media and newsletters to help drive traffic to the website through digital content. There are many factors that influence organic search results, but let's start with content. If we are pushing relevant and engaging content through our social media newsletter campaigns, and we are able to send more personalized messages, our click-through rates will be much higher, driving that all-important website traffic. This alone will help your website ranking and improve internet visibility overall. Having relevant content, well-written articles with pages optimized to feed those search engines will also help improve visibility. Keeping your visitors on your website longer will not only lead to more sales, but will add to your credibility in the search engines. So now we start to see a picture. Device-ready website, good user experience, relevant content, optimized pages, and driving traffic to your website means higher visibility and providing multiple ways for internet users to find content, products and services that are right for them in the places that they are looking. So here's an example. Here I have an image that I've created and it's relevant. That's a good start. I can post it on Twitter offering something and get click-throughs to my website. As mentioned, that content should be targeted and relevant for it to work. It's best to post more, specifically for products or services, and not being too generic about it. That helps to get the attention of internet searches. The same is not true for email campaigns. Less is more. Users want to only get information about a product or service that they are interested in. Try to segment your email lists. Try to know what they're most interested in. Give them options or allow them to update their preferences to suit what they're looking for. I can do the same on Facebook and even YouTube. I could create a 30-second or less video and include a clickable link to my website. I can also optimize YouTube videos for keywords and tags. Remember, it's all about driving traffic. So I've driven some traffic to my website. They have landed on my site, but where have I taken them? To the home page? No. I want to get them to where they're going as quick as possible. I want to send them straight to the page that is relevant to what they've clicked on. So I'm going to take them to a landing page. And here's an example of a landing page, again using Delta Plan Partner. So I can put lots of information in here, videos, and relevant content. Most importantly, I can put a buy now button there that will take them straight through to be able to purchase the products I'm selling. If you want to see an example of interactive media, you can take a look at the link in the chat function that we'll post shortly. So we can have interactive video or smart online apps that helps visitors to choose products and services in a much more relevant, engaging way. Specific pages for specific products can really help to increase the potential for sales and lower bounce rates. If you do have a website with lots of products and services, then give your visitors an icon or image-based menu right on the home page to speed up their journey. To find out what they're looking for, once again, we can use interactive videos or online apps to help the customer find what they're looking for and find the relevant pages. In the next webinar, we'll be looking at how we can create interactive media and video and go behind the scenes with me personally to see how we do this. We will also look at how easily we can create personalized landing pages, sales and marketing platforms, and e-commerce systems. But for now, I'll pass back over to you, John.
Thanks, Chris. That was a really interesting tool. Hopefully you can see my screen. Can you see my screen now, Chris? I'm just going to go down.
I can, yes.
Thank you for that very quick tour. As Chris said, we'll be sending to you a link to a personalized landing page to practice what we preach. Included in that will be this offer to look at a typical online app, which will help you in your sales and marketing planning around smarter sales and marketing. And we'll also be running the next session, as Chris has said, on sales and marketing platforms and customer engagement application workshop on November the 21st. So I want to thank you for your time today and hope to see you on the next in the series. Thank you now. Goodbye.